They say, oh, chabala. Hi, hey, hey, ho, hi, hey, hello, and hello, hi. Let's just make sure that the camera's looking good. So, the Madame Web trailer came out a few hours ago, and I am just going to take a look at it. I'm going to switch here back and forth between my faithful YouTube, and we'll see what goes on. Okay, here we go. I have already looked at this. I do already know what to expect, so this is not the first time I'm seeing it. Just want that to be clear and transparent. I don't know what to do with my hand. Okay, here we go. I already messed that up. Okay. Alright, so we've seen the trailer for the trailer. We will soon see the trailer.
Get your stuff.
Alright, so right away we've got some Dakota Johnson, I believe her name is, playing Madame Web. So it's clearly she's playing like a young version of Madame Web, or she could be playing the modern version of Madame Web, who is a younger but also a different character. So not quite sure. Looks like there's the three young women who I believe are supposed to be playing future Spider Ladies, according to the information that I've been able to dig up. The bad Spider-Man looks like in this. We shall see a little bit of him later on. The suit is really reminiscent of sort of an organic version of the Spider-Man 2099 red and blue cane spider clone, really weird ropey thready sort of thing going on. I'll talk more about it in a second here. Here we have the sort of tropey Groundhog Day sort of stuff that's become really popular in a lot of the Marvel properties these days. I know that this is made by Sony, but it's a trend, and trends usually get followed. If you don't know, Madame Web is a character who is not only telepathic, but also can project astral forms of herself and can indeed travel the expanse between space and time. That is right. She's a crazy cosmic character, and I assume that she's young in this because maybe they want to bring her power level down a little bit to the ground level, introduce some of those accessory characters before they take her into the caretakership fully of the Web of Life and Destiny. Who knows?
Try that again. A week ago, I spent my life racing against time to save people who were running out of it. Until one moment.
Only thing I really have to say here is that it appears that Adam Scott is playing the role of Uncle Ben, according to the cast list that I was able to find. Cool. Glad he's in it. Funny guy.
Welcome back to the land of the living.
So the way it seems like they're playing this, it looks like they're trying to make it seem like her origin was somehow a near-death experience. I don't think that's quite the what's going on here. I think maybe she's just kind of manifesting a little bit of it as we go along. Like she's sort of gonna discover some aspects of her like telepathic powers. Maybe she already has them. Perhaps this is her already traveling through time and space. I will comment a little bit more about that. There's some extra little bits that I wanted to point out, but let's get a little further into it.
I've been having visions. I knew he was gonna die. Future.
New York City is a whole new level of crazy these days.
Another thing I gotta say is that I really don't like that they're using the same song I believe they used in the final trailer for the Suicide Squad. It's the David Ayer version, I believe. It's not that I don't like that type of music, it's just it is reminding me now of Suicide Squad, and maybe I could be wrong, that might have been a different song, but I think that's Billie Eilish, and I think they used that in one of the movies. If I'm remembering it from a trailer, then there's a good chance it was probably used for some sort of a trailer. The other thing I wanted to bring up is that this is the second location in which all three of those young spider ladies are located, so that lends a little bit of credence to this sort of working theory I've got going on here, so stay tuned for one moment on that.
New York City is a whole new level of crazy these days.
Who are you? What is going on?
I can see the future.
Oh, what the hell? She didn't see that coming? That's not how it works. So who is he?
Ezekiel Sims.
Okay, so boom, it's revealed. Ezekiel Sims, he's the villain of the piece. As far as I'm aware, Ezekiel Sims is not a brand new character, but a new character as of the Spider-Geddon storyline, which was the first sort of mass crossover event that we saw for the Spider-Verse. And he showed up around the same time as Morlun, who is essentially a vampire, and he is a not spider guy. He's not a variant of Peter Parker. He was given spider powers like Peter Parker, similar to a spider totem. And what's a spider totem? A spider totem is essentially the spider goddess Ariane, or whatever her name is. She later becomes corrupted, and then she's the bad guy of a comic book arc. But she is the one who blesses Peter Parker's and his friends with spider powers, and you can actually beseech her with a ritual, which is how Cindy Moon, there's a spider lady who got her powers through the same ritual, and Ezekiel Sims is actually the first recipient of this ritual from the Spider Society. So he's like the first spider totem before the Stone Age Spider-Man or whatever. Long story short, this guy never had I don't think he ever had a spider suit. I don't think he ever substituted for Spider-Man. I don't know why he's an evil Spider-Man and he's sort of a vampire thing, and presumably he's traveling through time. I don't know if he had that ability. I think he was like that one character. He's very similar to Vandal Savage in that he's a character that has just kind of existed and didn't really do much until the Spider-Geddon event. It's real strange. It's like having Darben be the villain of the Marvels. It's like, what does Darben have to do with anything? At least Darben's out in space. Ezekiel Sims just happens to know Peter Parker. He's a spider totem, so he's hunted by the guys that eat the spider totems, which are the vampire totems. I don't know what the hell Morlun is. He's a something. He's a vampire. Space vampire. I don't know. Ezekiel Sims. What? It makes me feel like Sony's trying to pull a lesser-known character out of their hats so that we can just use this movie as another multi-million-dollar vehicle to introduce some aspect of the Spider-Verse, some aspect of Peter Parker's Rogues Gallery, some aspect of a connected universe, some aspect of the Sinister Six, some aspect of... I don't know, honestly. The Sinister Six, actually, if you didn't know, they're all representatives of their own totems. Maybe not all of them. I know so you got vultures of like a bird totem, Scorpion's a scorpion totem, Rhino, etc., and so on and so forth. So that's why they're kind of destined to be the Sinister Six, because like they're Peter Parker's complementary but opposite sides of the thing, and it's a whole thing. Don't need to go into it.
I recognize you. You live in my building.
You're the paramedic. Yeah, you almost ran me over.
You don't think this is weird? How we're all connected?
Alright, so here's the mention that they're all kind of connected. So if we've seen them in multiple different places under many different circumstances, I'm not gonna try and guess that they come together in the beginning of the movie, there's some sort of conflict, and then they all separate again, and then they all come together again by circumstance these many different times. What I think is actually happening is I think that Madam Web's character is isolating this moment, or isolating the people that she's trying to save in this moment, or somehow she's like gathering them in and then trying to Groundhog's Day around it to defend them. Either way, I think that she's already got a mission of trying to protect these young women spider totems from seemingly this sort of like ripoff of Morlun, why couldn't they just make it Morlun? I'm not gonna quibble. Point is, I think that this is a sort of Terminator Groundhog Day situation, which it was described as sort of Terminator meets Spider-Man, which I hope it's good. I hope it's good, you know? So anyway, I think it's just them sort of isolating this. She knows who she has to protect, so she's going to go on the mission to protect them, and so she's got to fight this guy as he's jumping through time with them or just pursuing them in this one moment. Either way, I think they're going to do some like, you know, time fucky wucky stucky, you know?
Do you want from me?
I have no idea what those girls are coming.
Why don't you want from me?
I think he can see into the future.
What are you wondering?
He's trying to change what happens. Julia, get down! Different.
Where do we go?
If you want to live, You have to trust me. Get ready.
Okay, whatever. The point is, and I mean, that's whatever, close to the end of it anyway. It appears as though there's this desire to get these characters introduced. Nowhere in any of the other media do all three of these characters get their powers at the same time, which is why I think she's ripping them out of the time stream at their respective, areas. I don't know why Sony would do the weird thing of trying to have them all be present here at one time, unless it's like an integral part of the story. Maybe this is like the apex of some timelines where this stuff has to happen exactly this specific way in order for them to all be located in one place at the same time. But even then, they don't all get their powers at the same time. I imagine that's canonical to this universe, but I don't know. It's a very confusing trailer. If I'm honest, and I just hope it's good. And Spider-Man's cool. I like Spider-Man. I hope that he's in more stuff and that his universe doesn't get ruined by Sony trying to make a whole cinematic universe without him in it. Because I don't think that would work. Anyway, that's Madam Web. I hope it's good. Anyway, that's about all I got for you.